From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
It's the color of Merlot. It has 3 polar patterns. It's transformerless, and it comes in a kit that looks like this.
Mavis Prima MPA-81s. Microphone. Yeah.
Meet the Mavis Prima MPA-81s. And no, it's not the Vanguard V4. It looks very similar to the Vanguard V4. Admittedly, yes. But it's not that mic. It is not the Vanguard V4. As a matter of fact, what if I told you that you could actually acquire this mic for about less than a third of the price of the current price of the Vanguard V4? Let's talk about that. So the Mavis Prima MP-81s. I just want you to listen to this mic and tell me what you think of how it sounds. That's all. That's really the only thing that matters. Again, 3 polar patterns. You're listening to it in cardioid. Let's try figure 8. Here, I'm going to hold it with 2 hands like a little kid. So figure 8. Actually, you know what? Figure 8 sounds pretty good on this. I'd only tried it for like a second before, and I'm like, that's actually not in the booth. That works. Yeah, that works. I like that. Sometimes, you get figure 8 on some mics, and it sounds like somebody just like drilled a hole through the mic. That's not bad. Omni, I hate Omni, so forget Omni. Omni can go kick rocks, but figure 8 again, not bad. And back to cardioid. Back to cardioid. I need some coffee. Hold on. So, oh, it's good. Dark roast. So, again, you know what? I was expecting this mic to be a little bit more crispy. I was expecting this mic to be crispier, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not crispy. It's bright, but it's not like where I thought it would be. And that's the problem. You get a bias. You get a microphone bias. Pun intended for you mic nerds. You get a microphone bias. And sometimes you look at a mic, and you look at a mic at a certain price point, and you're like, that's no. Just no. I'm like that. I'm totally like that. When the original BaiFei Li C414 hit my radar, when I first saw it, I was looking at that mic as a donor mic. I was just going to get that mic and gut it. Just pull the guts out and just replace it with my own Frankenstein creation. So when I received it, when I ordered the thing, and it was just like super, super inexpensive. That mic was $50 when I ordered it. Ridiculous. What I'd pay for a donor body. But then just by chance, I plugged it in. I almost didn't plug it in. I almost just gutted it. Just yanked all the guts out at the desk and but I plugged it in. And I was like, oh, what? This doesn't just sound decent. It sounds pretty good. For what I paid for it, I was shocked. I was utterly shocked. And so I'm glad that other people came along and discovered that mic too. Because I actually know somebody. I know a VO guy that gigs on that mic. It sounds so good on him. He gigs on the 414. Isn't that great? So, overall, right? My expectation when I see a mic now is I have to change my onset bias. Because I don't know what I'm going to hear now. Instead of assuming I'm going to hear something and not like it, I have to give it a chance and listen to it. I mean, listen, this is not bad. Now, we did the switches on the front. Let's talk about the switches on the back. Because there are switches on the back, and you may want to know what they do. Here, you know what? The camera won't pull focus on it. So I'll just show it to you all blurry. And I'll tell you, that's a car, and you get in a car, and that's an ant, and that's a ramp. No, that's 20 dB. So here we are. This is the low, right? Low cut. You know what? Low cut on this doesn't sound bad. Listen to that. A lot of times when you get, this is actually what intrigues me. A lot of times when you try to activate the low cut, especially on a mic that you would deem affordable, or cheap. It's like in the wrong spot. It's totally in the wrong. That is usable. That's like NPR. It's like NPR voice, low cut. And here it is flat. And there you go. I mean, when you hear the difference, I mean, it restores that, but it doesn't really destroy. I mean, you make the mid-range pop on that for sure. All right, let's go the pad. That's the pad. That is the pad. Yeah, that is the pad. I don't need a 20 dB pad, but it works. I'm guessing that's 20 dB. If someone wants to measure it, go ahead. So the Mavis Prima, and okay, so mentioning BaiFei Li, right? Mavis Prima, and I was reminded of my my education earlier by Dr. Fix. Dr. Fix reminded me that Mavis Prima actually loosely translates into Songbird 1. Songbird 1. And see, in me, being an idiot, I thought they were just two names randomly pulled out of a hat. Songbird 1. Pretty cool. That is a new microphone label from the folks at BaiFei Li. And what I've actually kind of come to discover with the mics, they care about the insides of the mic. And when I say that, I mean they're actually, when you listen to the capsule here, right? A lot of time, I was expecting it to be a cheaper sounding capsule, but this is better than a lot of the generic stuff. And that's the other thing too I discovered is like I had gutted a couple of their mics because I look at everything as a potential donor mic. I look at it and I say, what can you be, little mic? What can you be? And so I pulled the single sided K87 style capsule out of the V47 for a couple of the ORS 87 mic project builds. And I was like, that actually sounds much better than I thought. And I tried like a couple of the generic capsules I got from AliExpress, and there was a huge difference. I was like, wait a second, are they actually like picking decent capsules now? So this, again, I was expecting this to be a lot crispier. There's no EQ on this, by the way, which I should have said earlier, but I forgot. But what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I just want to know. I mean, can you imagine this is a donor mic, right? The REN flat K47 in here? That may have to be done. Even if you put like a CK12 style capsule, if you put like a C12 style capsule, edge terminated 67 backplate style capsule in here, it may be just like the V4. Again, at less than a third of the price of the V4. Because those people at Vanguard, we'll have to have that conversation later. When we have to do a head-to-head of this in the V4. We have to. That is in the cards. All right. Mavis Prima MPA-81s. What do you think of this mic? I want to know. All right. Till next time. This is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.